Can you hear me now? How about now? Hello, hello, hello. I think there's no video either. That's weird. Hmm. Good now. Okay, cool. All right. I'm embarrassed to admit I did not click go live. So I'm not sure what happened there for 5 or 6 minutes. So anyways, here we are. Now we're live. Now everything's working. Hopefully now you can hear me. So welcome to another reading sprint. It's Saturday night here in Shanghai. It's 9:30 Saturday night. You can see the exciting life that I live. Saturday night, I go on the internet and people watch me read. So this is the world we live in now. So there we go. Yeah. So you did you hear my whole preamble about the what I'm reading? Probably not. Can you hear me now? Hello. So House of Thumbs in the thumbnail. I was intrigued. Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. So I think I was talking about that before, but I wasn't live. So I'll explain. I'll explain what's going on here. So I'm kind of trying to decide on two books. The first book, uh, I had started to read this, A Player of Games by Ian M. Banks. I started to read this last week, and then I got distracted with another book called The Employees by Olga Round, and I had that on my Kindle, so can't really show it. But I'm also interested in this book, House of Suns by Alistair Reynolds. So my plan tonight is to read a little bit of both and decide which one I want to read. So there we go. We'll get a couple more people in here. Oh, we lost some people. What are you guys planning on reading? Can you tell us what are you guys planning on reading? Oh, the German lesson. Okay, cool. That's pretty well-known book, I think. Anybody else want to let us know what you think you might be reading? And also maybe let us know where you guys are, what time it is right there. So like I said, I'm in Shanghai and it's Saturday at 9:30 at night. Recommended by. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I've heard people talk about that book. I've never read it, but I've heard it's quite good. Put a message in case people didn't hear. And while we're waiting, if you want to ask any 7:40 in the morning in Oklahoma. Oh my God. Wow. Early riser. That's cool. If anybody wants to ask any questions or anything like that, go ahead. I think we'll chat for maybe another 5 minutes or so, wait for some more people to come, and then we can do our first sprint. I thought we might get people from the East Coast of the US and then also in the UK, and of course other parts of the world. 8:30 in New York. All right. Rokanan's World. Cool. I haven't read that one, but I did recently just read The Lathe of Heaven, which I just happen to have right next to me because I just did a video on this. Cool. Rokanan, is that one of the Hainish cycle, or is that a standalone novel? How many of us are here? Only 3 of us. Interesting. Yeah, I'm curious. Is Rokanan's World a Hainish novel or standalone? Do you know? Because I think the Hainish cycle is like massive. It's the first in the Hainish cycle. Okay. Yeah, I know they're not. They're kind of loosely connected with the same universe. I think there's like the same technology. It's that. Oh, what is it? I know it's a big thing in the Dispossessed. There's like a radio tower or a radio transmitter, something like that, that's able to allow all the different worlds to communicate. So something like, I can't remember. So, all right, we're going to wait 2 more minutes and try to get a couple more people here. If you're just joining us, please let us know where you are and what time it is, and let us know what you're reading. Because January in Shanghai, yeah, it's very quiet. I mean, as quiet as Shanghai can be. It's very cold now. The high today, I think, was 7 or 8 degrees, and it goes below 0 pretty quickly once the sun goes down. It's been a very dry winter this year. Last 2 winters were very wet, so we would get a lot of cold and rain. We don't get snow, but we will get cold and rain. Yeah, there might be a delay. I can't. I wish I could make the internet faster, but I can't. So, what was I talking about? Oh, January and July. Shanghai in January. Very cold. The days are really short too, which is strange for me because before coming here, I had lived in Thailand and then Vietnam. So it's always close to the equator. And there was always like 12 to 14 hours of sunlight. And now there's like 8 hours at the most, sometimes 6, which I'm really not used to. So the sun rises about 7 in the morning and it goes down about 4:30. So it's not a lot of sunlight. It's very gray right now too. But we do get some bright sunny days. So it's not bad. I mean, there's no snow, no ice. So I know I just complained, but can't really complain about it. So we got 6 people and it's 9:45. Okay. Yeah, the transmitter. Okay, cool. There's Natalie from Switzerland. Cool. Oh, it's 2:45. Very nice. Short essay collection, Antarctica by Claire Keegan. Okay, I know the name Claire Keegan, but I don't think I've read anything by her. Are those like Literary essays or science essays or what? Personal essays? What kind of essays are those? Okay. Similar to Ireland. Dry share. Yeah, yeah, I think it's I work with some people from the UK from Northern England. I don't work with anyone from Ireland, but they say it's very much like that that kind of winter there. So, yep. But I will be going to Thailand in 4 weeks, a little less than 4 weeks. So I get a big break for Chinese New Year. So get some sun. Literary short stories. Okay. Love Foster by her. Okay, cool. All right. I think it's time to do some reading. Give me thumbs up if you want to do the first reading sprint, or you can type okay if you can't give thumbs up. I always do this with my students. Give me thumbs up if you're finished with your questions. So, but yeah, give us an okay or a thumbs up if you want to do the first 20-minute sprint. Okay, we got a couple okays. All right, cool. So here comes our timer. I'm going to mute myself and then start the timer. So I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. All right, looks like our first sprint is done. Wow, I'm really close to the screen here. So let's move it back. Cool. All right, cool. Did we get any more people? Who joined us? 1112. Welcome. Cool. Reading, I don't know how to say that name. Malay? Is that a French name? Malay's Max Tudor series, Washing Away of Wrongs. I don't know that. What kind of series is that? Is that like a mystery, or what kind of series is that? Kind of thriller or something like that? Washing Away of Wrongs. That sounds like a thriller. So, anybody else join us here? Who's here? Natalie's here. Okay, Heidi is here. Cool. All right. I feel like my internet is really, really slow. So tell me if it's like buggy or anything like that. So, how are you guys doing with your reading? I'm a little bit slow. I'm a little bit slow in this book. The prose is not quite what I'm used to. The characters are very chatty. I don't know if that's part of Rankin's style or if it's just his way of setting up the book and doing the world building, but the characters are really chatty, which I'm kind of not really used to. There's like a lot of banter between the characters, but it sounds pretty cool so far. I'm only about 20 pages into it. So, how did you guys get on with your reading? Let us know how many pages you got, or if you didn't get any reading in, let us know. So we'll talk for a few minutes. And if anybody wants to ask any questions, go ahead, feel free to put something in the chat. We can consider this like a little break time. And I think we'll start our next sprint in maybe 5 minutes or so. So it's just 10 past right now. So I'll put something in the chat in case you guys can't hear. Let us know how you got on with your reading. Has anybody out there read any Ian Banks? This is my first Ian Banks book, so I'm curious to know. I think a lot of people maybe have read The Wasp Factory. I think that's quite a well-known book from him, but this is my first one, so I don't really know. It seems very British. I don't know if that's, I don't mean that as a put down, but it just seems very, very British. So yeah, let me know how you got on with the reading, and if you guys want to ask any questions or talk about anything, feel free to also get tea or coffee or use the bathroom or whatever. Okay, I remember you were reading that last time. Conventional. The second part is pure Auster. When you say pure Auster, what does that mean? I have never read Paul Auster. I know the name. I know he's very well respected, but I don't know what that means. Is it kind of metafictional? Is it experimental or anything like that? Oh, okay. So you're reading player games too. Okay, cool. Heidi, have you read any other Ian M. Banks books or any of the culture novels? Like I said, I think I've said it a few times. This is my first one, so I am on page 25. So it seems like very long chapters, which I'm not sure about. Are there any chapter breaks? Oh, I don't think there's any chapter breaks in this book. Wow. It's just one long chapter. Okay. Cool. But Brian, I'm curious, when you say it's very austere, it's pure austere. What does that what does that mean? Just like really dense prose, or what would make it pure austere? What is Auster's trademark for his writing? Curious to know. Hmm. Okay, yeah, I've heard a lot of people reference the New York trilogy, which I've never read. So many books, so many, so many books. So maybe I should check that out. What? So the New York trilogy, like, does that cover different periods of time in New York, like different families or things like that? What is that like? Heidi, if I start the culture again, starting with consider plebis. Okay, yeah, I think isn't consider plebis the first culture novel? I'm not sure. I just picked this up because I had heard that it's like one of the better culture books, and the premise really intrigued me of someone who is like a professional game player on a galactic level. It just seemed like a pretty cool idea, and that he goes to this far away planet, far away empire, and they have a game, and if you win the game, you get to be the emperor. So that seemed like a really cool premise. Had to find my way back to the story and had to look up a few words. They're on a farm. They're out felling. Oh, yeah, that's a really old way of saying that. So cool. Okay, I think we're gonna start in about 1 more minute. Haven't ready. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Always new things. Okay, so let's do another 20 minutes. I will pull up our timer. So I'm going to mute my mic and we'll do another 20-minute sprint. And of course, if you want to chat in the chat, you are more than welcome to. I'm going to mute my mic as soon as I start the timer. Okay. All right. I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to get back to the player of games. All right, time's up. So that's our second sprint. Oh, it looks like we got a few new people. So if you're new here, let us know who you are and where you are and when you are. So I think we get a pretty eclectic group. People from different parts of the U.S. Brian's in Ireland. I'm in China. I'm in Shanghai. So yeah. Sorry to beg. Oh, that's cool. No, I was just curious. I didn't know if he had like a certain kind of trademark. But I mean, what you said about the narrative collapsing in on itself, that sounds actually very, very cool, very interesting, actually. I'll have to check it out. I don't know why. I just never read any Paul Auster, so I'll have to check it out. But I know a lot of people reference the New York trilogy. So, who else is here? I think we got some new people that joined us. So if you're new, if you just joined us, let us know where you are and what you're reading and how you're getting on with your reading. So we'll take a little break. So if you need the bathroom or coffee or tea, or if you need to text someone or whatever, go ahead and do that. And maybe we'll do one more sprint. Oh, I'm sorry. Heidi asked a question. Has anyone read the Reura Revelations by Michael J. Sullivan? No, have not. I don't know fantasy. Ah, Berserk, the manga Berserk. If it's the manga, where are you in the manga? I've read about, I'm on like volume 33 or 34. And I put it down about a year ago. I've really been itching to pick it up again. Pretty disturbing. I'm only on volume 2. Are you reading the big mega omnibuses or volume by volume by volume? I read each individual volume because I read it on the iPad. Because I think those big omnibuses have multiple volumes in them. But yeah, it's very disturbing, but it's really good. It's so good. It's just amazing. I need to get back into it. It bogs down a little bit around reading each volume on my books. Okay, cool. Oh, so you're very, very early in it then. Okay. All right, I won't spoil it for you. It's fantastic. The first 2 story arcs are excellent. It bogs down a little bit where I am, because there's so much that happens in the first 20 volumes, I think. And then it kind of slows down a bit. But I've heard that it does pick up again. It kind of like has this like very long trajectory that goes through it. So it's really cool. It's fantastic. I want to finish it. I'm going to try and finish it this winter when I come back from holiday. So I think we'll do another sprint in 2 or 3 minutes. So what are your thoughts on I have read it. If you look at my channel, you'll find several videos. I think it's really overrated, which is a really hot take. It's a booktube darling. I think it's a well-crafted book. It's almost too well-crafted. The problem is, well, there's many problems, many problems with it. On a sentence level and at the prose level, it's very good. It's very well written, word for word, sentence by sentence. It's very, very good. The problems I have with it are there's a few different issues with it. First of all, I guess before I go any further, have you read it? I don't want to spoil it for you. Because I can go on and on about the problems with Stoner. Just in the middle of it now. Okay, so I don't want to spoil anything for you then. Generally, I didn't like it, but I felt like I needed to read it in the sense of like when you're taking a lit class, you're not going to like everything the professor assigns to you, but there's a reason why you're reading it. And I think it's a good book. It's not a terrible book. I just think that of that kind of book, there are just so many more that are so much better. I don't understand why people fixate so much on that book. Butcher's Crossing, same author. Butcher's Crossing, fantastic. Love that book. Stoner, I just didn't like. Uh, I don't know how to explain why I don't like it without spoiling it for you. I have problems with a lot of the characters. I have problems with Stoner as a character. Um, I just found it to be like beyond boring, like beyond boring. And I felt that just it makes its point very early on, and then it just repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats. So, and I understand that's kind of part of what it's all about, but at the same time, it feels like it could just be like it feels like it could have just been like a really great short story, and I could have just left it at that. So, what I don't know who Creative Crypto. Check back like when you're finished with it, and let us know what your thoughts are, because I was kind of liking it about a quarter way through, and then I got about halfway through, and I'd realized, okay, I don't like this book, but I finished it. I did it as a buddy read too with Lekden from Reading from the Depths. We've done some buddy reads together. So yeah, so I'll leave it at that. So when you finish it, check back, and we can talk more about Stoner. Natalie, what did you say? I haven't read the man, my glasses, what's going on? Riera Revelations either, but it might be interesting to return to fantasy. I plan on reading Lord of the Rings. Can you recommend Sullivan's work? Okay. I haven't read any Sullivan. I'm not a big fantasy reader, so I don't really know what that's about. I always want to like fantasy, and then I never finish the books. Part of it is they're just so long. Why are they so long? Why are they all like 900 pages and like 9 books in the series? It's such a huge commitment. So I guess I have commitment issues. Should we do one more? Give me a thumbs up, or okay if you want to do one more 20-minute sprint. I think I got one more in me, because I just got to a really interesting part of this book, so I'm definitely going to read more. So yeah, give us thumbs up or give us an okay if you want to do another sprint. How can I see who is here? feel like I can't. Anyone interested in doing another sprint? Give me a thumbs up or an okay if you want to do another sprint. All right, Brian gave us thumbs up, so I think we'll do it. I'm gonna read anyways. If you guys want to hang out, we can hang out. I guess if you want to chat while we're reading, what's a polarizing book that you either loved or hated? Something like that. Like, I don't like stoner. That's polarizing. So, okay, I'm mumbling, and we should read more. So, yeah. All right, I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna start the timer and then mute myself, and we'll be back in 20. Okay. All right. I was really into that. So, there we go. All right, cool. Um, where are we? Some people in the chat here. Heidi asked, "How's House of Suns?" I've only read about 10 pages of it, so I can't really comment on it. I think I'm going to stick with Player of Games right now. I'm really liking this one. I just got to a really like intriguing part in the story, which is really cool. What does Brian say? Crime Punishment is a book that's lauded as one of the great classics, but I gave up halfway through, having gotten nothing from it. Another book I've never read. I don't think I've read any of the great Russians, other than Chekhov. I read quite a few Chekhov short stories, but yeah, never read any of those. Moby Dick is another one I've never read. I think I read excerpts from Moby Dick in high school, but we didn't read the whole book, just bits of it. So I'd never heard of the last two. Gilead. Yeah, I've never read Gilead. Morganson's Night Circus. I don't know that one. I'd have to look that one up. So yeah. So how are you guys getting on with the reading? I don't know who is actually here. People seem to come in and out. And I don't know how to view. Sorry, I'm kind of figuring this out as I go. Nope. Okay. I'm halfway through Moby Dick. It's funny in parts. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know. It's not a book that's typically associated with humor, so that's cool. Kathy, would you say it's the great American novel? Or of its time, at least? Don Quixote, another one I've never read. BookTube Confessions right here. Again, I'm sure I've read excerpts of Don Quixote because I am familiar with it, but I never read the whole thing. I don't know. I didn't read many of the classics. Remember in high school, I could choose. There were a couple of lit classes I could choose from, and I chose modernist. I didn't read the classic canon novels. Iliad, Slice of Life. Yeah, I agree, Brian. I mean, sometimes you just read it to kind of educate yourself on it. So you don't have to like everything you read, but there are things to be learned from. Having said that, when it's like 800 pages of trying to kill a whale, I don't know about that. So Neuromancer, yeah, I really liked Neuromancer. I need to finish that trilogy. I've got one more left, the last book. I want to say it's Mona Lisa Overdrive. Oh, hey, Lit Wizard is here. Hello, hello. Going book shopping. What? You're supposed to read the books you have before you buy more books. Come on. So, yeah, a lot of people don't like Neuromancer. I think it's a divisive book. I am curious to see the Apple TV series of it. Which, is that out already? I'm not sure if that's out yet. But yeah, Neuromancer is an interesting one. because it's really like just a heist novel dressed up, really dressed up. Gibson really dresses things up with all the cyberpunk stuff. Oh, you're leaving. Okay, goodbye. Oh, and you. Ooh, we have a big spender. Canadian $6.99. Wow. Thank you, kind sir. Do I need to click on this or something? What am I doing? Cool. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Neuromancer. Yeah, I'm curious to see the TV series because I think it's a great story. It's a heist story. It's a story of a thief who's kind of not very good at his job, and he gets caught out and horribly disfigured. Then he kind of does the one last job kind of thing to get enough money to fix up his body, basically. And then Gibson uses that as a narrative device to explore this whole like underworld of technology and wealth inequality and all kinds of important themes that arguably can be hard to tease out of the narrative because it is so greatly embellished with the world building. But I think it's good. It's not his best though. It's just his most famous. So his short stories are fantastic. Sorry, I'm really rambling about William Gibson. So, anyways, yeah, I mean, I would try it again. Read it in the '90s and pretty different now. Yeah, it's interesting reading it now about how he had envisioned things that were just kind of starting then, like the idea of a global network, which is now the internet, and his idea of how people would access that and how it was a much more physical thing is quite interesting. But now what's really interesting there too is because Neuromancer is an AI, and then there's Wintermute, who's an AI, and he's kind of trying the I can't remember his name now. The thief in it is the hacker, and it is not aware that these AIs exist, but he kind of bumps into them, and then this much larger story comes out of it. So it's pretty cool. You hated Neuromancer. Okay, I just talked about Neuromancer for like 15 minutes. So it is crass, and it is very verbose. So yeah, it's not for everyone. So, but it is. I mean, he does use a lot of cliches and there is kind of some bad writing in it in terms of like use of simile and metaphor. So, but after you kind of like, you have to kind of tune into it on a certain frequency, and then it kind of works. And if you're not open to that, it's not going to work. So, which is cool. It's not a big deal. So it's highly stylized prose. So no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Gibson's an interesting writer because, like I said, that's his most famous book, but it's not his best writing. I think his short stories are actually his best because he doesn't have 180 pages extra of excess, descriptions and metaphors and things like that. So, but yeah, it's a tough read. I mean, you got to be in the right frame of mind for it. So, I think it's something that will translate very well to the big screen, though, because like all those pages and pages of description, it can just be 5 seconds in the frame. So, Tom Robbins. I've never read any Tom Robbins actually. I remember him being very popular in the, I want to say late 80s, early 90s. So, oh, no worries. I think we're kind of winding down. Although I could keep reading. I drank a lot of coffee today, so Maybe I could keep going. Do we want to do one more sprint, or do people have to go and do other things? Give me a thumbs up or give me an okay if you want to do one more sprint. We can do one more. I could do one more. But we've been just talking about Neuromancer. Oh, you're thinking of Cryptonomicon. Yes, Cryptonomicon I do not like. That one I don't like. So glad to hear you like Neuromancer. Okay, let's go. But even if you didn't, I mean, it's not a big deal. You're entitled to. We're all entitled to our opinions. Anybody else up for one more sprint? One more 20-minute sprint. Yes. All right, cool. We agree on Gibson. Yeah, Gibson's fantastic. So Cryptonomicon, I think, is the only Stevenson I've read. So I read it a long time ago. Oh, yeah, maybe 2009 or 2010. So I don't remember much of it. Anyone else up for a sprint? Kathy said yes to a sprint. Okay, yep, let's do another sprint. We'll do 20. I think that's a fair amount of time. So let's try a 20-minute sprint. I think this is, yeah, this is gonna be our last one. This is my last one. I gotta take a shower and go to sleep. Ba, ba, ba. Okay, go. And I'm gonna mute myself. All right. Another sprint. Another sprint is over. So, wow, I got a lot of reading done here. I'm surprised. Almost on page 70. So, that's nice. Hope you guys got some good reading in, some good pages. Did anybody else join us? Not sure where we are. Okay. Looks like Brian left. Okay, cool. Not cool that he left, but always cool to see Brian. So cool. All right. Yeah, I want to say thanks. I think I'm going to wind it down. It's 11:40 here. So I am going to take a shower and go to sleep pretty soon. So I want to say thanks to you guys for joining. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks if you just came in. This was pretty fun. I think we need to do this on a regular basis. Maybe I'll find a little different time to try to catch more people, but we'll see. A small group is fine too. So anyways, thanks again. And I hope you guys got some good reading in and hope you have a good weekend ahead of you. And I will say goodbye, I guess. So adios.